Today we're doing a clay and seal on a Porsche 911. I do the customer roughly every 6 months. Generally, it's up to the customer, but yeah, I try to explain to them, especially for this type of car, you want to do a clay and seal around that time just to maintain the vehicle. So right now I just did I just did a wash. After, I'll show you my van. We're gonna do an iron remover soap. I'm gonna use a clay towel because this car's paint is in really good condition. Now there's a clay towel and a clay bar. I use a clay bar whenever a car is really contaminated, but like I said, this car is in really good shape. The benefit of a clay towel, Ray, is not only is it softer or lighter on the paint, but you're able to cover more surface area. The only negative thing about a clay towel is generally more pricier, and the longevity is not as great as a clay bar. Yeah, so Ray, when I do an iron remover, you have a couple of methods. We're gonna use an iron remover soap by Iron-X. I just like to use it because I feel like it makes my job a lot easier. I guess the only problem is by CarPro. This bottle is like 30 to 40 bucks. So what I like to do is I just kind of eyeball it a little bit. I'll pour some in there and then I'll put the rest in water. And then if the car is really contaminated, then I'll go ahead and use, I think it's called Iron Buster by P&S. You guys are more than welcome to use whatever iron remover you guys like. I just think this has always worked really great for me. And the cool thing about the iron remover, what it does is gonna start to lift up the contamination. And what I mean by that, the little yellow dots or maybe tree sap on the car, it will start to lift it off, therefore making it easier for me to clay the vehicle. And then like I mentioned, Reyes, you have two options. You could use a clay bar, which is kind of a more old school way, and don't get me wrong, I still use clay bars to this day, but this car's condition is really good. So we're gonna go ahead and use a clay towel. This one happens to be by Auto Fiber. You guys are more than welcome to use whatever brand that you want. And then what I like to, this one's used, obviously, they're good for about maybe like 5 or 6, even more washes, just depends on the condition. But, ooh, I think one of my employees didn't do this. So what I like to do, Ray, is when I'm done, the trick is you're supposed to put the paper inside of this rubber adhesive, and then you put it back inside. Now, I got lucky, Ray, this thing is still new, but what happens if you let it stick to the rubber, eventually this starts to degrade. So once again, guys, do not lose this little piece of paper. Or I like to keep everything, Ray. So once I'm done cleaning the car, like I said, put it back, put it in the sleeve, and then I'll just hang it up for the next wash. But let me know in the comments, guys, all you detailers out there, how do you clay a car? Do you use a clay bar? Do you use an acid remover? What do you guys do? Let me know.
Hey, Mario, I noticed you didn't foam up the whole car.
Yeah, so I mean, it's not that hot today, Reyes, and I'm working solo in the sense of on this car. We have Benny right behind you. But if I had an employee working on this car, I would have foam washed the whole car because now we split the car in half. He's gonna be claying that fender while I clay this fender. But I like to just work in small section, Reyes, just because the iron remover soap is kind of expensive. So I don't want to foam wash a fender and have all the soap go to the ground. Now, if I'm washing a car, I have no problem. Like I said, the iron remover soap is a little bit expensive. And then on top of that, in the summertime, Reyes, it's probably better practice to work in sections because what's gonna happen is the soap is gonna dry onto the car. Let me get the iron remover. So, I clayed the car, it's still in really good condition, but what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna lightly spray some iron remover, Reyes. This is a little bit stronger than the soap itself. I know you're stepping back because it probably stinks, right, Reyes? Yeah, there's not much I could do. And you know, I've been detailing for a while, Reyes. I'm not coughing, and I'm going off on this right now. But yeah, so then what you're gonna do is let it sit for, I don't know, maybe like 30 to 40 seconds. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use my eyes. And then wherever I see the little red dots or the discoloration, now, like I said, this car's in pretty good condition, Reyes, so it's not gonna look like blood everywhere, but I can kind of see just a couple dots. Maybe you can come closer and I'll try to point it out to you. Like I said, this car's in pretty good condition. If you guys can see, I would use my eyes right around here. Let me know if you pick it up on the camera. I see it. Cool. So then, Reyes, what I'm gonna do is there's another one up here. It's slowly starting to come up more. And then what I'll do is I'll use the clay towel and I'll go ahead and agitate the paint. But like I said, guys, this car is in pretty good condition. Let me know in the comments, is this normal? Is this how you guys always clay cars, where they're always in really good condition? Let me know in the comments below.
Hey, Mario, so tell me about the outfit, man. Is that your uniform?
Well, you don't like it or what, Reyes? Is it too tight on me?
Nah.
Is it a medium? It's a dry fit. You can get it like at, you can find these anywhere online, Costco sometimes, Bass Pro Shops has them. But essentially, Reyes, I wear this for two reasons. One, it's a dry fit. So on a hot summer day, if you're wearing a cotton shirt, you're gonna get those sweat stains underneath your armpits and stuff like that. And what's cool is they offer SPF protection. So, you know, I'm working out in the sun rays. I have a pretty good tan on, but I never get sunburned. And then the other thing, right now we're using iron remover, and that's why I always wear gloves too. Back in the day when I would do iron remover on the cars, my skin when I get home, it would be itchy and like rashy. And then so the cool thing about this is the chemicals will maybe get on the shirt, but not on my skin. So you probably see me, I get a bunch of different colors. My favorite color is white because it does really well with the sun, but the problem is the shirt gets like dark. So I like to go for like a dark blue sometimes too. But black is like, I avoid that because of the sun. It eats you up, yeah.
Hey Mario, I see that the customer left. What do you do?
Yeah, I mean, thankfully, Reyes, I've done this customer about 4 or 5 times already, so he trusts me. Once we're done, I'll go ahead and back up the Porsche, park it in the garage. He gave me the garage closer and the keys to the car. And then I'll just make sure to take him some photos, just saying, hey, letting you know we parked the car. And then I'll make sure to take a photo of the garage closed, and then eventually he'll just Zelle me. But yeah, Reyes, there's a good amount of customers where I haven't even met them. It sounds super weird. I'm thankful for all the guys out there. They trust me. They just open their garage with their phone, and the money and the keys are in the car, and that's pretty much it, yeah. Let me know in the comments, does your customer trust you to park their car in the garage without them being there? Put in the comments below.
Hey Mario, so what's this next step after this?
Reyes, once we're done cleaning the vehicle, we're gonna go ahead and rinse it one more time. And then after, you have 2 options, Reyes. You can either do a spray sealant such as Wet Coat, or I forgot, Burks makes one called Lotus Coat, or I think even Coach Kemi makes one. Or you could use like a paste sealant, and that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna use Just Car Ultra Lock Pro or Ultra Lock Plus.
A lot of people use a spray sealant. Why not today?
I just think because of the customer in the car. I mean, it's a relatively small vehicle. I noticed when I do a paste on it, the hydrophobic properties tend to be a little bit stronger. Also, when the car's done, Reyes, it feels like butter. But don't get me wrong, I use Wet Coat every now and then as well. It depends on the situation. If it's a bigger vehicle, maybe I'll lean into the Wet Coat. Also, if the car's black, I almost always use the paste just to give a nice mirror finish. But yeah, let me know in the comments below, what do you guys use? Do you guys strictly use Gyeon Wet Coat, or what type of sealant do you use? Or do you even use Carnauba based wax? Are you guys old school that way? Or are you ceramic coating every car that you touch? Let me know.
What's up, Mario? What's next, man? Where we at?
So we have Benny currently doing windows right now. I am going inside my van to get my polisher. Sorry, there we go. I have a Milwaukee, it's a 15-inch polisher. The benefit of these Milwaukees, I mean, they're not super strong, but they're cordless. And what I'm gonna be doing today is just a sealant. But actually, I even use this for paint correction. If you guys are wondering, I'm using a Lake Country pad, and it's black, Reyes. So if you could take a look, it's really soft. There's different types of pads. You have a blue pad, orange pad, and a yellow pad. This just means it's the softest. It's not gonna offer like that much correction to remove scratches, but it works really good. Now, this is an old bottle. It's by Just Car Ultra Lock Plus. Like I mentioned, I also have it with me if I need it. We also carry Gyeon Wet Coat, so if I really wanted to, I could have easily applied it to the car, but we're gonna go ahead and apply it on there. And it's a paste, Reyes. Normally what I do, Reyes, I just apply like, you know, little dots, little pea size. These are a little bit bigger, unfortunately. And then eventually what we'll do is I'll start applying it to the car. There isn't really a preference. You could start however you want, but I just noticed I just like to do the hood. And then I'm gonna put it kind of on my lowest setting, Reyes. So, and then you just lightly apply it on there. I'm sure you could use a higher setting, but I just noticed that when I go nice and low and slow, it leaves a nice thing. And then if you want to get technical, Reyes, you could do overlapping. So as you can see, I'm going up and down, and then eventually I like to go towards like the logo, and then I'll stop, and then I'll go crosshatch, meaning now I'll go like this. And you're doing this to get even coverage. But let me know in the comments, how do you apply your dressing? Do you just go crazy on the car, or are you doing what I pretty much do right now?
Hey Mario, what do you got in the trash bag?
Oh, what's going on, Reyes? Yeah, so we have the trash bag. So these are, I call them dirty towels, but they're essentially used because, you know, some of them were used for Polestar, or some of them were used to clean the windows. So I like to put in a trash bag, and I like to just throw it over my roof. And then if you want to take a look, we're here, Reyes. I'll show you all the towels that we have right here. we have them all nice and organized. And then these drying towels, what I like to do, if it was really hot and sunny, I like to leave them out like this so they could dry. But take a look, Reyes. I try to subdivide them. I have my towels in 2 rows, and then all my drying towels for the car, it's gonna be on that row. So I like to organize it. I like to fold it. It makes it easier for me and my employees to go ahead and be ready for work.
All right, Mario, what's next?
So if you guys can see right now, I've been applying the sealant on the car. Almost half of the car is done. So now what I'm having Benny do is he's getting a microfiber towel. Hopefully he's folding it so far as I can't see him. And he's gonna be wiping off, there you go, wiping off the residue. And then rather than throwing that towel completely away, he's gonna fold it one more time. And then when he's done, he's gonna open it and fold it again. So essentially one side could be used, I think 8 times or 6 times, I don't know the math, don't judge me. But yeah, so what I'm doing is I'm applying, I call it the sauce, and don't skip the roof is one of my favorite slogans on Instagram. But because it's a convertible, Reyes, I guess we are skipping the roof. But yeah, Reyes, so it takes about maybe 2 to 3 minutes for the sealant to apply to the paint. So what Benny was doing in the meantime, he already finished the inside windows, and so now he can finally wipe down the car. And as I am moving along, by the time he reaches the trunk, it'll be about a minute or so. So it'll be ready for him to buff that off. And then now, I'm gonna get some more sealant and continue.
All right, Mario, what's next?
Right now, Benny is wiping off the sealant, and then I'm applying Trim Restore on the vehicle. I don't know, let me know in the comments if you guys use Trim Restore, but on all my packages, Benny, regardless if it's a mini detail or a Clay and Seal or whatever, I always put Trim Restore. Unfortunately, Reyes, a lot of new cars now, they're coming with a lot of plastic trim, like the Tacomas and the TRXs. So that's why I charge what I charge, because these cans are like $12. This is one of them, but there's like a watermelon logo on it. But each can is like 12 bucks, Reyes. And depending on the size of the car, you can go through like half of a can. So that's like $6 in product, just spraying plastic Trim Restore. But I like to do it, Reyes, because it makes, especially like this car is black and white, so then it's gonna pop. All right, guys, we're about to wrap up today's video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned to the next video. Peace out, guys.